I just felt like I was wasting my husband's time. I remember telling him once that you have my permission, go get married to someone else or knock someone else off, get someone else pregnant. Let's stop wasting your semen.
In the midst of all you were going through, you decided to be intentional. It is said that insanity is the easiest way of doing the same thing over and over and expecting a
And
different
expecting a
result.
different result.
So I love that about all what you did. The next thing I would like to ask is, when we talk about trauma, it doesn't just affect us physically. So can you tell us the levels of trauma you went through?
Maybe I'll just pick one or two. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, the physical impact was there. I had a physiological change as well, where after the molar pregnancy, because they had to do an operation for the molar pregnancy, send it off to the hospital for tests for cancer because there are tumors around the uterus.
Hmm.
And I was given 6 months to wait until I try again. Those 6 months were the longest 6 months of my life,
Hmm.
waiting to know if the tumors around my uterus were cancerous or not. And I was always angry when I was going through this. So that is one impact that trauma had on me. I was always frustrated. I was always angry, and I hardly speak to people. I didn't have these joyous I don't know how do I put it. I didn't have
Outlook.
this
Outlook.
outlook that I
Yeah.
currently have, and that's another evidence that I've been healed. I just hated to be around people. I withdrew from the social cycle. A lot of people didn't know what was going on about me anymore. I closed down my social media account several times, changed my name several times so they don't know it's the same person.
Oh my
you know,
God.
and so yeah, that what happened. And then after 6 months, when I got the result back that it was all clear, the tumors were not cancerous, you can try again. I felt a little better. So the up and down emotional roller coaster did not only affect me mentally and physically, it also impacted my marriage as well. Because I just felt like I was wasting my husband's time. I remember telling him once that you have my permission, go get married to someone else or knock someone else off, get someone else pregnant. Let's stop wasting your semen. Those were my words. And he looked at me and said, I know you're grieving. We are in this together. We will have our children. I said, when? When? And he said, don't worry, at the right time. When is the right time? So he suffered most in this journey because
And he didn't have anybody to encourage him because he wasn't encouraging you.
because he's a man, and everyone would say, men
Be a
men don't
man.
cry, men are there
Man,
for
don't
you.
cry. Wow.
He was he was soaking in all my pain, all my anger, all my veins, all my frustration was being soaked in by one person. And I tell people today that if you treat a woman right, loyalty comes very easy.
Yeah.
When people see me and see how loyal and how submissive and all of those that I am to my husband, they wonder why you being a mumu. I am not being a mumu. I am only a human being who is grateful for the person that God has placed in my life.
Mm. Mm.
Because I don't think I would have survived it without him.
Mm.
So trauma does not just affect you mentally and physically, it affects your relationship with people. It affects your relationship. It can damage your relationship you have with your supposed soulmate. Because there were times where I didn't even want to see him. There were times where I was
Withdraw.
blaming
Yeah.
him. I was blaming him for getting me pregnant because if he didn't get me pregnant, I wouldn't be going through this. So it was a roller coaster. And trauma can affect even my job. My career was on a standstill because I was always taking time off work when I'm going through a hospital appointment, going through this, going through that. My career was on a standstill as well. I couldn't climb, I couldn't study. I was studying for my master's in business administration, and it was a whole lot. So if I begin to count the impact that trauma can have on one's life, is endless.
Yeah.
Every experience is different. This is my experience. Someone else might be different.
You know, you said something that is very key the other time, that you had the support, the strong support of your husband. You can imagine women going through things like this and they
And they didn't
never
have that.
had a support. What could have become such women? Well, I know that's a story for another time. Let me go on and ask that. When was your light bulb moment? When did you tell yourself that, Gorgeous Pola, even if it was just a whisper in your spirit, in your soul, in your mind, that's enough. I need to get out of here.
That didn't happen magically, and it did not happen at once. My healing came in stages. So the first stage I got that light bulb moment was in 2016 when I saw that pregnancy test, January 1st, 2016. I saw the pregnancy test from Claire Blue, and I was there in the bathroom. Should I tell my husband? Should I not? I was contemplating because I was tired of telling him I'm pregnant. So at that point, I heard a whisper that says, this will stay. This will stay. I had the conviction in my heart, this will stay.
Mm.
Whatever treatment you're going to get this time, it will work. Because I was doing similar treatment apart from the intralipid I didn't take. That's a different topic for another day. But I just had that conviction that this is it. You're going to carry this full time. So I called my husband and I spoke to him and said, guess what? Look. And he was, oh, the journey starts again.
Mm.
I said, yes, but this time it will be good for us.
Mm.
So we held hands and we prayed. I remember leading the prayer at that time, and we both agreed. So every day of that pregnancy, we spoke to my body and to the baby. We prayed together. We spoke words together. We agreed together. That's one very important thing for women who are going through similar journey. It's more harder if you don't have that support system. But if you have a husband, it's very important to agree with him, hold hands and agree. Right. So that was one thing we did. And that was when I got the light bulb moment that this is going to be easy. I am going to go through this easy and I'm going to have our baby this time. So that confidence then rewired me. It rewired my thinking.
Wow, wow.
I was rewired, like your program would say. I was totally rewired. Mentally, I became more positive. Even at 21 weeks, I was spotting at 21 weeks. I tell myself, your body believes anything your brain tells it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if you want your healing, the first place to start is your brain, your mental. Tell yourself what you want to see. That was what I did for 9 months. I told myself, I told my body, and I spoke to the baby. I was talking to my child like I was seeing her physically. Today we're very close, and people wonder the bond we have. I said her nickname is I have loved you from the womb. Atinuke. That's the nickname we gave her. So from the womb, we've developed that friendship. When I was spotting at 21 weeks, I said to her, you're not going anywhere. You're going to stay full time and you will be born perfectly healthy. I might be spotting now, I don't care, but you will stay full time. And I felt her kick. So I went to bed, called my doctor. She did a scan. Baby is fine. We don't know where the bleeding is coming from. You go and rest. I took 1 week off work, rested, went back to work. And that was the only time I had that episode until I got to 39 weeks and 4 days.
Wow.
For the first time,
Awesome.
I carried full term. So
Awesome.
that helped me.
The next question would be, who or what are the things that helped you. You talked about your faith, which is very important. I was reading some of the comments on from Trauma to Triumph series. Somebody was saying that it is even confidence that helps us to have faith in God. I said, no, you are not getting it right. I said,
No,
confidence is faith.
you can't
Confidence
have confidence without faith.
Confidence is faith. What gives you the impression that when you go to bed, you tell your husband, see you tomorrow, you tell your kids, see you tomorrow? What gives you that confidence that you're going to wake up tomorrow? That is faith.
It's faith.
So, confidence is faith.
Yeah.
So, what were the things that helped you? I know the first thing you talked about your faith, which is very key. You talked about your support system, which is very important. Then you also talked about that your husband was your therapy and was your therapist. It was your therapy and it was your therapist because you had his shoulder to cry on. You had his
Hmm.
shoulder to lean on. So here I have few things. I have faith, I have therapy, I have journaling, I have community. You also said that you had some community that actually helped you that time. And I always tell people that you don't joke with community because
Yes.
inside that community, you don't know who has gone through what you are going through. Even if they're not going through exactly what you're going through, you have somebody who has gone through trauma and they have been able to come out of it and they be able to give you that push that you can do it, you can make it.
Yeah.
So apart from all these things, what were the other things that actually helped you to get to where you are today?
Positive minded attitude.
Mm, mm.
Because without that positive minded attitude, every other strategy that you've just named is not going to work.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not going to work. Until I told myself that I am capable of carrying a pregnancy full term. Until I told myself that I am capable of having a successful parent life and a career life. Until
Mm.
I told myself that my uterus is strong enough to carry a healthy pregnancy full term. Until I rewired myself mentally.
Mm.
That was when the other bits were able to help because you can't help who doesn't want to be helped,
Yeah.
right? So if you don't have that positive minded attitude, no matter
Mm.
how someone else tries to walk you out of it, it won't work. So
Mm.
that's what I tell my ladies. I tell them I can help you with every other strategy that I have used, but I can't
But you
help you
can't
to be
help them with
positive.
exactly.
So when I call them, the first thing I ask is, are you okay to talk? Do you want to talk to me? If they don't want to talk to me, I won't force it. I'll let them be because that's another phase. But when you're now ready to want to talk to someone, it means mentally you're ready to be healed. So mentally, that mental positivity, it doesn't all happen overnight as well. It happens when you groom yourself, you listen to messages that will help to groom it, you watch movies that will help to groom it, you read books that will help to groom it. There's a particular book that really helped me, Supernatural Childbirth.
I read
Oh
that book
my
a long time
goodness.
ago.
I
Yeah.
read that book back to back, cover to
Yeah.
cover.
Mm-hmm.
All the prayers were in my head. It got to a point I
Wow.
didn't even need to open the book to pray anymore because I was praying it every day.
I think I read that book about 27 years ago.
I tell you what, when I read the book for my first pregnancy, for Dami's pregnancy, it was just to help me through it. Let me just
Mm,
have a healthy baby, a healthy pregnancy.
mm,
But when I read it for my second child,
mm,
I I experienced everything in the book.
mm,
You know, when Jackie Mee said, you don't have to go through labor pain, I made sure it happened for my second child.
mm,
I spoke to my second child up to their skin color for each of the children. I spoke it
mm,
up to their dental formation, their side, everything. I spoke it into existence. And I said to my son, I will not have labor pain when I want to have you. Contractions will come and pass, but I would have you very quickly and I would not have complication. And that was how it
mm.
happened. I started my first contraction at 11 p.m. and I had my son at 1:04 a.m.
Are you for real?
An hour, 4 minutes. I could count the number of contractions I had. For each contraction, he was crowning. For each contraction, when I called the ambulance, it was during COVID, so there was not a lot of movement. The ambulance, the pediatricians, the everybody, my house was filled because they were not sure. Based on my history, we had everyone
Mm.
here. And when I walked downstairs, they said, "You might have the baby in your living room, but we want you to get to the hospital. So let's go as quickly as possible." Within 1 hour, 4 minutes, my son was here,
Wow.
perfectly healthy. He was born
Wow.
just under 39 weeks. And one testimony I have had is since I experienced motherhood almost 9 years ago, none of my children have been admitted in a hospital for anything.
Wow. Wow. You
So
pay the
when
price. You pay the price.
I have paid the price and
Yeah.
I have rewired myself. We
Mm-hmm.
keep coming back to rewiring yourself.
Mm.
I kept telling myself, I've been through enough, God. If you're gonna give me a child that will stress me in life, let it just go through the miscarriages I'm already going through.
Mm.
So we've had that conversations. I've had that conversations with God. And today I am so grateful to be a mom. I do not take it for granted. When I'm shooting episodes of Police Nugget with my daughter, I do it with pride because she is my evidence that you can be healed.
It is possible. Mm-hmm.
It is possible.
It is possible. So, what were some baby steps you took that actually made you feel strong again? Can you go into details and
Hmm.
share with us those baby steps that are sacred that you took to help you to feel strong in your own skin again?
Helping others.
Mm.
Helping others who are going through similar situation. Being able to share my story was a major part of my healing process.
Mm.
I started with there's a charity, Tommy's, that one of the consultants was the consultant who actually prescribed the treatments that I eventually had that helped me with my first child. I didn't take it for the second because then my body had regulated. So I support this Tommy's charity. I donate to them to help them with research work. They're into recurrent miscarriages, why these
Mm.
things are happening, because
Mm.
most tests that has been done, they don't find anything until the test that I did that my consultant found what was going on was actually sent to the US. It
Mm.
wasn't done here in the UK. So all of these things, so this charity talking about it to the charity and being on their platform and sharing my story with other ladies who are going through similar situations was actually part of my healing process. The more I shared my story, the more confident I felt, the more healing I
Mm.
experienced,
Mm.
and over time the healing just started happening in stages. And now that I'm able to talk about it publicly, that is a major proof that yes, I've got to that point where I can say I am healed.
Oh, you mean the story that I feel that was a problem to me is helping somebody, and
It's
because you know
helping
it is
someone because
helping
at some point
somebody.
I could not talk about it without shedding tears, without crying, I
Mm.
was scared. I was scared
Mm.
to talk about it. I was
Wow.
scared to be named. The first time I shared my story on Facebook was in 2010 and 2017 after I had my daughter. And the entire followership said, "You're such a brave woman. How did you even come out to say this?" Because people don't talk about it.
Mm.
So talking about it started as my baby steps, and now being on a bigger platform, being on YouTube to talk about it. Wow, that.
How did you start trusting your voice, your
Mhm.
choices, and your reflection again? Then, what role did forgiveness play in your rebuilding process of yourself and others, and even God?
Yeah, forgiveness. That is
Mm-hmm.
key. That is very key. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
started trusting myself when helping others was working. So
Mm.
I have seen ladies, like I was sharing earlier, I had a lady who for 2 months didn't want to come out of her room. And then when I started our counseling sessions, over time, she got her healing. And recently she shared a photo shoot that she did. She shared it with me. She
Wow.
shared the video with me. She went to the salon to do her hair. So for every step, positive step they take, I ask them to share it with me. So when
Mm.
I see how my counseling sessions and my mentorship is working on them, my confidence grow every day.
Wow.
And
Wow.
talking about forgiveness, I had to forgive myself.
Mm.
I had to forgive In fact, when I say forgive God, some people will think it's blasphemy. No,
Mm-hmm.
but it
Mm-hmm.
gets to a point when you go through a traumatic situation, you just wonder, why do you even believe in God?
Mm-hmm.
Why would God stop this? Until I got the revelation that God is sovereign
Yeah.
and He could be preparing you for something, which I am seeing now. Because
Mm.
if I didn't go through my experience, I wouldn't be in the place of mentorship. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be in the place of being the beacon of light to other ladies who
Mm-hmm.
are going through that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be going through a traumatic situation now. Yes, it's hard, I know. Yes, it's deflating, I know. But how about if you're being prepared for something bigger than you in the
Bigger.
future?
Yeah.
Who knows where this is going to take me to? Who knows
Mm-hmm.
what platform this is going to take me to?
Yeah.
So I had to forgive myself, forgive my supreme being, forgive everyone around me, because there were some people, even the doctors.
You have to
I
forgive your
had,
husband.
I had, I had to forgive my husband, because the blame game never ends when you're going through such a
Mm.
traumatic situation.
Mm. Mm. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being so vulnerable with us today. And just let me ask you your parting word. What are the words you want to tell the people that are watching this or that will watch this? What advice do you have for them that in their process of trauma, what do you want to tell them?
Joy is yours to reclaim.
Mm.
You only need to let your guard down for joy to come in.
Mm.
Because if you don't permit it, it will not come in.
Mm.
So permit joy to come. It's
Wow.
yours.
Wow. 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 That is awesome. And on this note, I want to say a very big thank you to you once again. When people share their trauma story, many people don't know that you are sharing a part of your life, a very important, very significant part of your life with people. And just like you said, you find joy in the fact that your story helps people to get better. And I
Yeah.
want to say thank you for just being you. Thank you for being open, and thank you for having moved from your trauma to where you are now, which is giving you the opportunity to help others to get better. I want to say a big thank you to you for sharing with us all you have gone through. And we are so glad that you are able to walk through it. And look at you, gorgeous Pola. You are just
With
as
a smile
gorgeous
again.
you're as gorgeous as God made you. We want to
Oh,
say
thank
thank you.
you.
Myself and my community wants to say thank you to you.
Oh, thanks for
I
having me. It was my
know there will
pleasure.
always be another time, like we put some things on the back burner. I know we still have time to do so many things together. But
Yeah.
on this note, I want to say a big thank you to you. Thank you to your husband. We appreciate the fact that he has been and is still your
It's still
greatest
is.
support system. So,
Yeah.
and to your wonderful children, tell them that somebody sends her
Yeah,
love
no.
to them.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much, and
Thank you for having
see
me.
you, see you another time. You're
See you
welcome.
soon. Take
Yeah.
care. Bye.
Bye.